Hello, everyone. How are you today? Welcome back. My name is Miss Stephanie, and we are here today working on Piano Adventures, the Primer Edition. We are now up to Unit 4. How exciting! So today we're going to start with page 34 in your book. So, if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and drop me a line below. Let me know where you're from and how you're doing with your lessons. I'd love to hear about it. Maybe hop over to Patreon and check out what we're doing over there. So today we're going to talk about starting on page 34, and I've got a much larger to show you. We're going to be talking about the staff. And the staff has 5 lines. 1, oops, got a glare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 lines and 4 spaces. And your hand kind of looks like that. Your hand has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. And 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Kind of cool, huh? So remember, lines and spaces. Now, in your book, it looks like so. And there's no clef sign. It just shows you the lines and the spaces. So on page 34, definitely stop to go over the lines and the spaces. So right now, hold up your number 2 finger and let's point to the lines. Line number 1, line number 2, where is line number 1? Is number 1 on the top or on the bottom? Line number 1 is on the bottom. So let's start this again. Here we go. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right there in the top of your book on page 34, everyone. Page 34. So let's point to our space notes. There's 4 of them. Take your number 2 finger and around we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So line notes and space notes. Now, if you'll notice on page 34, it has an example of line notes and space notes and what they look like. And if you'll notice, the line note has a line going through it. Notice that? And then the space note does not have a line going through it. It's like a space sandwich. So in my group classes over on Patreon, what we do is when we see a line note, we make a line note and it's like this. It has a line going through it, and a space note is like this. Okay, and that's how it is on your staff. So line notes and space notes. Now we're going to introduce you to the grand staff. So the grand staff, that's where we put the right hand staff and the left hand staff. That's kind of what we call it in the beginning, but really it's the treble and bass in the beginning. And the right hand usually plays the top line and the left hand usually plays the bottom line. And here is what a grand staff looks like. The treble clef and the bass clef, and it's a bracket here. So we have one staff plus another staff. That equals a grand staff. Now, if we pop on over to page 35, you'll notice we have a treble clef G clef and a bass clef F clef. And what I'd like you to do right now on the top of page 35 is take your finger and trace the treble clef. So let's do the treble clef first on the top of page 35, okay? So let's trace that treble clef with our finger on the top there. Now let's go over to the bass clef sign, okay? And let's trace that bass clef sign. There we go. You got it. Now what they want you to do is brace your finger like this and play middle C and all the left hand notes. Now, I'm going to flip my camera over to show you. And, oh, let me see. Let's do this camera. There we go. And we have Mr. Mozart Mouse here, and he is helping us find middle C. Middle C is right here in the middle group of two. Middle C is right next door. And what they want you to do is hold your finger like this and brace that first knuckle and hit every note going down. Now I would like to show you from the side because I would like to show you what your hand should look like. So watch this. I'm going to show you the whole exercise. See how I drop down and I roll up with my wrist and I keep going all the way down. All the way down. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my right hand. Here I go. Are you ready? Drop, roll on every key. Drop and roll your finger, roll your wrist up. Drop and roll, we're almost there. All the way up to the top of your piano. Couple more to go. And resting position. Resting position is your hands in your lap. Excellent job. So we went all the way down the keyboard with your left hand. Drop, roll, and then we went all the way up the piano. Drop, roll, drop, roll. That is the entire keyboard. And they show you these notes on the bottom of page 35. So look at the bottom of page 35. Look at the correlating theory pages that go along with it. And you will be right there. So turning the page, if you need to stop and rewind and go over anything, and I think you should, be sure you understand a line note has a line going through it and a space note is in between. There's no line going through it. Be sure you understand the treble clef, G clef, bass clef, F clef, and go through and rewind and do all of that because we are going on to 36. So page 36, middle C. Now, they're going to have you repeat middle C with your thumb, number 1, and then with number 2, and then with number 3 with the right hand. And then the song continues. There's no stopping in between the first 2 lines. It's just one big song. Then you do the left hand with finger number 1. Thumb is finger number 1, finger number 2, and finger number 3. Now, we have different rhythms to count in this. So what I would like to do is let's go through and clap the rhythms first. And we can use blue jellos like we do in theory class. Here we go. 1, we're clapping the rhythms on page 36. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, Excellent. There are a lot of things for us to think about on this piece. And the one thing is rhythm. So I would go ahead and rewind and be sure that we have that rhythm correct, okay? Great. So next we're going to go ahead and play the piece, and we're on middle C. And my Mozart mouse has helped us right along here, so we know exactly what to do. So here we go, starting with the right hand thumb. Ready, go. Blue, blue, hold for 2. Switch to number 2. Getting a little louder, and then even forte, switch to 3. Hold for 2. Hold 2, 3, 4. Left hand. Hold for 2. A little louder with my number 2 finger, and even louder with my number 3. And 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. So we're going to do that again. And let's remember, it starts out soft and gets louder each time. P piano soft, MF medium soft or mezzo forte, medium loud, pardon me, mezzo forte, and F forte or loud or strong. So let's go ahead and do this one more time. Here we go. See if you can keep up. Here we go. Get ready as one finger on the key. Everybody else is dangling above. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, switch fingers. Switch fingers. 1, hold 2. 1, hold 2. 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. 2, 3, hold 4. A little bit louder with number 2, and then forte with number 3. 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4. Excellent job. Now, if you need to stop and rewind that, please do. Next up, we have page 37 and the 10-second song. Now, the 10-second song is pretty cool. And it introduces, this is the 10-second song is done completely with your right hand. So your left hand can kind of take a nap now for a little while, okay? So we're only going to do our right hand. So right hand, here we go. We're going to use our number 1 finger, our thumb, and our number 5 finger, our pinky. 1 and 5. 1 and 5. Remember, all thumbs are always 1, pinkies are always 5. So let's take a look. We have middle C, which you've already learned, and here's our new note. Our new note is G, and we call it treble G. Okay, so we had middle C here, and that was our middle C right here. Middle C is on that little line right below the staff, or right above the bass staff, right below the treble staff, or right above the bass staff. And then treble G is right here. And that tells us treble clef, G clef. So this G clef wraps around the G line. So this G is super important. Middle C is super duper important. And G is super duper duper important because this treble clef, G clef wraps around this G line. Get it? Kind of neat, huh? Okay, so we're going to play middle C, and then we are going to play treble G. So let's take a peek and see where that falls. So we have middle C here, right next to the group of 2. C, D, E, F, G. C, D, E, F, G. G is here. So we're going to play C and G. Now, let's go through and clap this song first. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Blue, 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 2, blue, 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 2. There you go. It's pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, so let's go ahead and try to play that one now. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, this is C and G. Ready, go. Forte, C, 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 G, 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 hold 2, C, G, G. Hold these repeated notes as long as you can, and repeat it softly. And then G, and then C. Notice how there was walking fingers. Note there was not space in between. There were walking fingers smoothly connected. Okay, that was great. Okay, so we have gone up to page 37. Go back and review everything that we've done. Go back and review what we've done before we started this unit. But we've gone up to page 37. Be sure you can play everything up to then, and then come back and join me for the rest of the unit. Be sure that you have subscribed and liked and maybe share it, because then more people can come and learn how to play the piano. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.